Hi, good morning. Good
Good
morning,
morning.
Kathy. Good
Good
morning,
morning,
everybody.
Gaetan. Good morning, all. Glad to see you here. We've got a great show for you today. It's
How are we doing today, Kathy?
well, today. We're going to be talking about the canine news. What's in the news for us? And for the most part, we have the service dogs versus the emotional support dogs. There's been a lot, I mean, a lot of controversy about emotional support dogs going on planes and going in public areas because they're not really service dogs. So we want
Mhm.
to help to share with you about what's going on. And guess who we have with us here today, Gaetan?
I don't know. You tell
We've got,
me.
we've got a special guest, Murphy,
Oh, Murphy.
my
Welcome,
emotional
Murphy.
support dog.
Hi, Murphy.
He says
Is
hi.
Murphy has a voice?
No, he's very shy and he doesn't
He's
really
shy.
talk very much. But let mommy fix your hair here. Okay, yeah,
Hi, Murphy.
he's my emotional support dog. He gives me lots.
Very good. I'm in favor of that kind of dog
Yeah, yeah,
all the
yeah.
time. Yes,
Okay, so yeah,
perfect.
the point is that if you don't have an emotional support dog and you can't have one, you can always get a stuffed animal.
Absolutely.
So he'll be back in the show a little bit later.
Great.
Okay,
Nice to
so
meet you, Murphy.
So what do you think about all of the controversy that's been going on this past week? I mean, every place you turn, the new legislation says that emotional support dogs should not be allowed on the planes, and not just dogs. An emotional support animal can be a horse, a pig,
A turtle,
a turtle, a
a goose,
peacock, a goose,
a
a,
goat.
a goat. Yeah, yeah. So we're going to go through why this is happening. And the truth is, folks, it's because of people that took advantage of the system. That's why we have problems. If
Hmm.
if they didn't do that, if they truly were emotional support dogs and they were there to support somebody emotionally, we wouldn't
Hmm.
be in this big mess we are right now. But it only goes to show you that people will take advantage unnecessarily.
Well, there was a big news yesterday by the
Right.
Department of Transportation about the restriction of animals on airplane, and the restriction is now you need to have a service dog with certification to be on board the plane with you. And so I'll let you go more in detail of that because you did most of the research. But yesterday I was smiling when I saw the news on TV, and I cannot refrain myself from smiling because it has been an abuse and a use of a privilege. And the privilege was not a privilege; it's a necessity for person with disability.
Yes.
So a necessity is not a privilege, is not something that you will self declare yourself as, oh, I need emotional support. I'll bring my turtle, and the airline will say nothing about it because they say the ADA said that the person with disability should have access to their service animal with them, blah, 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 blah. But the abuse was so much and create so much problem in the airplane and for legitimate service dog. It's very known that service dog has been attacked by emotional support dog who has no training, no certification. I witnessed in a restaurant. I told the story some month ago. I was in a fast food restaurant, and a woman walked in with a dog with a vest saying service dog. She could not even get the dog to sit. So what kind of training is that? What kind of service of support dog or service dog is that? It's it was bogus. It is bogus, and I think it's time to stop this system of abuse from the consumer who
Mhm.
said, no, 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 I don't want to pay $125 to get on a plane, but I'll shut up. I'll let you talk because
No, no, no. You're absolutely right on that, Gaetan, because the way that people have abused the system is here's my scenario, whether it's right or wrong. I don't know. Oh, good morning, Sebastian. Good morning,
hey, good
Paul.
morning, Sebastian. I hope you're fine.
Yeah, everything's going okay in Australia. Yeah. Okay, so my point exactly. People that don't know about emotional support dogs. What they'll do is they'll say, "Oh, I got a dog. I got the dog from the shelter, and boom, I want the dog to be an emotional support dog. So I'm going to go to one of these websites that offer a letter or offer a registry to have my dog be an emotional support dog. It'll only cost me $50, and then great. I'm going to go ahead and have this dog. That means I can go on a plane, and it's going to save me a couple $100 because support dogs can go for free.
Mhm.
And I can bring them into Walmart and anywhere I want to. And you see that all the time. Some people even let their support dogs off a leash in a place. I was at the grocery store the other day, and here a woman was walking in, and she had her little Chihuahua, which was her support dog, walking right beside her. No leash, no nothing. And I thought, so I had to ask her, is that a support, emotional support dog? And she said, oh yes, I have the certification, I have everything. And I called foul on that, and I said, not really. I said, your dog is really emotional. Oh, I couldn't live without him, I couldn't live without. Well, I understand that, but what's happening, folks, is people are taking such terrible advantage of this whole system right now because we've been given the opportunity to allow our pets to be there to give us the support we need. But if you don't really need an emotional support dog and you're abusing, it's
Uh,
everybody. It hurts everyone, doesn't it? That's my 2 cents. Okay, we've got, what does Paul say here?
he's talking about the criteria for service dog in Quanta Airline from Australia. We
Okay.
can post it. Give me a second. It's a big text. I don't know what's going to happen. Wow, it's pretty large. But here, Paul.
Okay, the criteria for carriage of a service dog in the aircraft cabin Qantas will carry a service dog, guide, hearing, or assistance dog that is a dog that is trained to assist a person with a disability to alleviate the effects of that disability in the aircraft cabin if satisfied that all the above criteria are met. The service dog is trained by an organization or trainer that is a full member of Assistance Dog International, ADI, or approved under the Queensland Guide hearing, etc. Okay. Thank you, Paul, for contributing
Yeah.
that, because that's what we want to do is
Hmm.
actually show people the difference
Right.
between a service dog and an emotional dog.
Hmm.
Okay, and Sebastian here, you said with more than 1 billion animals ravaged by the fires, it's tough right now. Our animals need as much love. Okay, I'm sorry, that's a different subject. That was about the animals in Australia.
We'll
We
come
know,
back to him. We'll come
yeah,
back to him after in few minutes, Sebastian. So we'll talk about that in few minutes.
okay.
So, um,
Let's show a little video about the myth.
shall we?
Yes.
Yes. Here we are.
Okay. All right. Now this is from a website. Today we decided to go to the websites that we felt had something that can offer, and we also put a link in the description so you all can have it. Now this is the difference between an emotional support dog versus a service dog. You can read it on your own, but this little video was kind of interesting, so I thought it would be good for us to share it with you.
Debunked. Top 5 misconceptions about service dogs and ESAs. Remember the epic Clint Eastwood dialogue from the classic The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly? There are 2 kinds of people in the world, those with loaded guns and those who dig. Just like that, there are 2 kinds of people in the world, those who know about the service dogs and emotional support animals, ESAs, and those who don't. Patients with different disabilities can greatly benefit from service dogs and ESAs. But very few people seem to understand the usefulness of these animals or things that are associated with them. Here are 5 misconceptions debunked about these assistance animals. Misconception number 1. Service dogs and emotional support animals all are the same. This is not correct. Though they may seem to serve purposes, they are different in use cases as well as in the eye of the law. Service dogs are specifically trained by professional trainers to help augment their owner's limited ability to do things. On the other hand, an ESA could be any animal that helps comfort their owners. It's not necessary to train them otherwise. Misconception 2. I can take my emotional support animals into restaurants, hotels, and markets. Well, it depends. By default, only service dogs accredited by ADA can go with their owners in such places because of 2 reasons. 1. They have been trained and are certified to behave properly in public areas, and 2. Their service is necessary for the owners. All animals having a service dog certification automatically enjoy public area access rights and can fly in commercial airplanes. But emotional support animals may not have this privilege unless the owners present adequate documents supporting this privilege. Misconception 3. A doctor's note is required for a service dog. You don't need any doctor's note for your service dog. While entering into any public facility, informing the staff verbally about the dog is good enough. According to the Americans with Disabilities Act, ADA, the staff members of public facilities are allowed to ask 2 questions. Is this a service dog required for a disability? What are tasks or work the dog is trained to do? At times, revealing the disability might cause some sort of embarrassment. To avoid this, you can choose to order an ID card for the dog. It will make the identification much easier and nobody is likely to ask any questions about your dog. Misconception 4. Service dog laws vary state to state. Service dog rights are preserved under the federal law of the Americans with Disabilities Act. However, there are some state-only regulations. For instance, in Connecticut, service dogs can enter into public areas only accompanied by their owners while having a rein or an orange-colored leash and collar. Misconception 5. If landlords don't feel the tenant has limited ability or require an ESA, they can refuse the ESA of the tenant. According to the Fair Housing Law, a landlord is allowed to accept ESA no matter what pet-free policies are there. If they reject your ESA, you can call the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development, and they will assist in your claim of requiring to live with your ESA. ESA dogs can be very helpful with psychological disabilities. You can easily get an ESA letter by applying to an accredited online organization. Have more questions about ESAs? Talk to us in the comments section below.
That was pretty good, wasn't it?
That was easy.
That's where that was easy button.
That was easy.
Kathy.
I know. Okay, so with this new law, what they're really saying is that the emotional support dogs are no longer going to be able to go on the airlines. And I think the question is going to be, what if it really is a support dog that is truly providing a service? I'm sure that they're not going, well, I shouldn't say I'm sure. I can't believe that they're not going to allow emotional support dogs to go on a plane, but the restrictions will end up being much more rigid than they are right now. But we're going in the right direction.
Yes, it will require certification, and this is what the keynote, the key point here. Dog need to be certified by something else than something you get out of the internet. It's the certification require another person trained and accredited to see your dog in action and run your dog to a number of tests before the dog can be certified and say, okay, we can certify that your dog will behave first.
Mm-hmm.
We can certify that the dog is a no danger to other people or other animals. And 3, we can certify that it is of service to you, but this is not yourself. Excuse me. It's not yourself self-declaring your need. It's need to be accredited. It's need to be a third person come and say, yes, I tested, I run tests with this dog, a number of tests, and I can certify this dog will behave first. It's not
Right.
a danger for the dog, animals, or passenger, and it's a need for the person. So if the person is willing to go through that process and get a certification, then they have more than emotional support dog. They will have a certificate. How you say that? Thank you.
Certification. Yeah.
Yeah, certification. Yes. So it would become more like a service. Excuse me, more a service dog than emotional support dog. Service dog can also provide emotional support. They can also provide more service than only emotional support.
Well,
So
and see, I think along those same lines now too, is in the past, not in the past, right now, emotional support dogs, it's not just dogs. It's considered a goose, a horse.
anything turtle,
Yeah,
goose.
and how do you train? How do you certify a turtle?
This is where the abuse will stop. I mean,
Yeah,
don't tell me that your turtle is an emotional support for you, that you're going to have a deep depression and you'll kill yourself in the plane if you don't have your turtle.
yeah. Oh,
You
speaking
know,
of that, let me show something on that. Okay.
sure.
Yeah. Show my screen here a second.
Here it is.
Okay, I put this in the link, and I'm not going to show the whole video, but this particular video is kind of interesting.
Now, with airlines and stores across the US drawing up their own rules around animal access, has the rise of the emotional support animal gone too far?
Alligator.
Be this long.
Or are the more exotic animals sensationalizing and diluting a growing solution to mental health conditions?
The real epidemic is the mental health problem in America.
Joe Henney's ESA is one such animal.
Hello, Joe. How you doing?
A 4-year-old American alligator rescued from Disney World in 2016, months after a bigger gator had attacked and killed a 2-year-old boy.
He might eat. That's about his meal size.
When was the last time he ate?
About 3 months ago. Well,
3 months.
he's eaten once in 3 months.
What did he eat? A cow?
No, he just ate 2 chicks.
Well, you're never going to grow.
Okay, Gaetan.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is a 15-minute video, but I put the link into the description so that you can go ahead with it. But the point is, like we were saying, that I think it's gone a little bit too far on the
Definitely,
emotional
yeah.
support. I mean, I can't imagine this guy bringing his alligator onto the plane. I think there might be a few objections, don't you?
Yes, Your Honor. I object to my neighbor in the aisle to carry his 5-foot alligator with him, and
Right.
I got scared and I opened the emergency window and to jump off the plane where we're taxiing on the runway. Your Honor, please, I ask the court to have mercy on my case because I freaked out with this thing in the plane.
Yeah. So, hey, what is Paul? Hey, Paul, thanks for contributing so much here today. Let's see. He says service dogs find information when traveling with a guide, assistance, or hearing dog, including definitions, criteria, and conditions of carriage you need to know. Thank you for the link on that. That's great. We appreciate you coming in and joining in with us. I think that the next thing that we really want to show is for those that don't have information on a service dog versus an emotional support dogs, the American Disabilities at Work National Network, if you want to share that, Gaetan, I've got that up here. They've got a website that really goes through everything from detail over detail, from handlers, the rights, the housing, education, air travel, the recreation, the service animals and training, and the laws and everything that we will need to know about. This is really just a plethora of information for us. And as long as we have that, I'm going to show this too here, that now they refuse under the rule. This is a little video that I think would be good to show too. Okay. That's it.
Good. Excellent. Well, we are informed about the issue now. We know that service dog, yes, they are allowed. They need to have their certification. We need the real dog on the plane. Not, you know what I mean. We talk about
Right.
it. It's
Yeah.
clear. I look at that as a positive development, and that's hopefully stop the abuse.
Yeah.
That will definitely stop the abuse, because no other animal will have automatic, how do you say that, admission on the plane
Clearance.
than dogs. Yeah,
Mission.
clearance. Dogs. Dog would be like first receive clearance as long as the owner can demonstrate that the dog has received a training and is a certified service dog.
Right.
And that's the key point.
So
people with disability are not going to be punished for that, and it will become, I would say, it will become easier for them to travel.
Well, we were just talking about before that. One of the things that we weren't going to bring up, but I think it's appropriate now, is that the people that do have service dogs, they are being questioned and hurt, and a lot of setbacks are occurring for them because of this over abuse of emotional support dogs. So now what's happened is, like, there was a woman, what was it, Gaetan, that she's a blind woman.
Right. It was in the news yesterday on NBC. She has a black Labrador. She's blind. She's a guide dog. And the dog has been attacked by an emotional dog on the airplane. And that's kind of exactly what we're not looking for. Exactly what the issue is untrained animal become a danger to other animal or passenger. Flight attendant has been bitten by animals, pooing on the plane, things like that.
Yeah.
That's yes. Abuse has been performed.
Yeah.
I've been committed.
Right. And
my English is very bad this morning, so my English is, yeah.
Well, I know our friend Lon Hodge has been really fighting quite a bit with the authorities, and God bless you, Lon, for everything you do for service animals, because he steps right into the arena. He's the one that has all the scars, and he will challenge.
He suffer of the situation, and he was an advocate to have the change in the regulation, and thanks to him and other people who made the representation. The regulation has been changed yesterday.
Yeah, right. Okay, well, we have another new subject now. This is Gaetan's second week with.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I've been in. I'm doing here. I disappear. Sorry. I am back. I was at last week again at Narnia Pet behavior and training facility. And I went filming there last week. I must apologize. I had a number of difficulty with the sound, and I have nobody else to blame than myself. I rushed, but no excuses. So I'm not giving any explanation. I don't. I did nevertheless an editing, and I will just ask to be forgiving to me because I have to do some narration to cover some of the voice of the trainer. Sarah was the trainer last week, and for the technicality on our side, I was not able to capture properly the sound. But I think we have a very, very good session last week, and that was the second week. And we will follow these pet for 6 weeks total. So that was the second week. I'm doing the third week tonight. I'm going filming back tonight. I will resolve the issue with the sound between now and tonight. And then if you want, I can show you this video.
Yes, yeah.
If you agree with me.
Hey,
yes.
Dale, I forgot to say hi to you, sweetie. Good morning. Okay.
Dale, where's Dale?
He's way up at the top there.
Yeah, Dale. Hi, Dale. Good morning, guys. Good morning,
morning.
Dale.
Yeah.
Okay. And when we come back, we'll talk about Australia. Okay?
Yeah.
So let's go to see this video. It's short. I hope you enjoy it. I'll select the sound. And part 2, here we are. Share.
Take off Dale's.
Hey, welcome to the Good Dog Day Show. This is our second visit at Narnia Pet Behavior and Training Facility in Plainfield, Illinois. Sarah's today's instructor is teaching the off technique.
Now, most of the time, we start with it on the chair. All of these guys were like, I don't care if it's on the chair. So we moved it right to the floor. Good job. He backs away. We praise and reward. He's like, I still got a nose going. You'd rather be on camera than have a cookie? You'd rather be on camera. He goes for it. She steps in front. As soon as he backs away, she's going to praise and reward with something in her hand. She's using her body to keep him away. Good job, baby. The only thing that should be coming out of your mouth is good, or good boy, or good girl, as soon as they back away from it. Great.
Any chance with Bella? Sarah is telling us this is as much as a skill for the dog owner as it is for the dog.
Really, really handy skill, and I want you to get really, really good at it. Because you can body lock your dog away from pretty much anything. You can body lock them from getting to other dogs. You can body lock them from getting to people or jumping in counters or garbage surfing. You can body lock them from rushing out of the crate or the car or eating the mulch or the goose poop or anything. So I want you to get really, really good at it. It is as much of a skill for you as it is for your dog. You stepping in front of something tells your dog, nope, this is mine, you can't have it.
The off technique can prevent the dog from getting to people, from getting in the street, in mulch, goose poop, or anything else.
Here's our off, and we say it once and we wait. She's licking, she's nosing, she's girl. She backs away. She's a really talking over there. She backed away, she got a good girl. She went to check in with mom, that's okay. We'll start again. Off. Here's our off, and we wait. Girl. She backs away, good, and she gets a treat from the other hand. Off.
When you stand between something and the dog, it's telling your dog, no, this is mine. You can't have it.
And I want them to get really good with off of the treat in your other hand. Then we're going to start working toward eye contact. Okay? So that means that when they're really good at backing away, when you tell them off, you continue to praise until they offer you eye contact. Now they're not going to earn a cookie from you until they offer eye
Sarah instructs the owners to seek eye contact with their dog. Use the command off. Continue to praise until you have eye contact with your dog. Now Sarah is talking about socialization. Socialization is exposure to the novel, to new dogs, to new people, to new places, to new sounds, smells, textures. And this is from the dog point of view. For this exercise, Sarah let the dog come to her.
That's okay. I'm not going to reach over to pet her. I let her come to me. She goes, ooh, that was stressful. That's a new person. Hey, how are you? Oh, what are you doing? Hello. We made friends. Isn't it nice? Yeah.
The following is an exercise of socialization where the owners mingle with other dogs freely. Wow.
That was excellent. That was great. And you were talking about your Franglish. I thought you did excellent in that.
Thank you.
Yes, that was really, really good. Now you wanted to talk about Sebastian, yeah, in
The
Australia.
Australian situation, yes. And here's his message. So, as you know, the fires keep raging. The fires are not under control. They started in October. We're in January, and they keep going. And I saw a picture from the space station showing the smoke coming out of the east coast of Australia, and it's massive. It's about a third of the east side of the Australian coast as a band of smoke. That's it's almost 1,000 mile wide.
Wow.
And that's like a band of smoke. And about 2 weeks ago, just before the Melbourne Open for the tennis tournament, there was so much smoke in the city because of the fires that the organization was thinking to either postpone or cancel the tournament because of the smoke. But at the time of the tournament, the smoke cleared enough for the athlete to be able to perform in the Australian Open in Melbourne. Melbourne, by the way, is a beautiful city. If you have a chance to visit, it's highly recommended. It's one of the most beautiful city in the world, to my point of view.
Yeah.
And it's so peaceful. People are so nice in Australia. I could not believe it.
Yeah.
It's nice people. Thank you, Sebastian, for connecting with us. 1 billion animal ravaged by the fire. It's really it's not a national disaster. It's a global disaster. This is not happening just by one factor in one location. We have one planet. We're all connected. And if somebody understands that we are all interdependent, what is done in Brazil has an effect to Europe, and what is done in Asia has an effect in South America, it has an effect in North America, has an effect in Europe. So we're all connected together. So there's not like me, I am, therefore it's not. We're all connected. So that's a sad situation. You can connect with the Red Cross Australia if you want to send donation, and they need donation. Today there was a very, very sad news. Just an American plane, firefighter plane crash in Australia, and 3 Americans die yesterday. So fighting the fire, they have some problem, and the plane crash in the attempt to control the fire there. So that's a very, very sad news.
It is. Well, I did a show, I think it was about a week ago, with Sebastian and his team on supporting what's happening in Australia. And there was a lot of fake news that was going out about it. And we were able to hopefully debunk some of that. So anyway, I have one last thing here, Gaetan, that I couldn't resist. If you could share your screen.
My screen or your screen?
Mine.
Yes.
This is a guy, Brooklyn man. He registers a beer as an emotional support animal. Now, how clever is this? But it's really very funny. I got to read this to you. It says, "It's brews you can use." He registered a pint of beer as an emotional support animal with the USA Service Dog registration in December. He aims to use the certification to carry his beverage of choice on public transit. He says, "I travel from upstate to Brooklyn a lot. They say it's a federal crime to smoke or have an alcoholic beverage unless by prior written consent. And I always wondered where you get that consent." He says, "I'm not an alcoholic." He said, but he tells the Post he simply wants to see if this method works. "It was really just an experiment," he said, adding that it was a lighthearted move. "I'm not trying to make light on anybody who has emotional issues." Anyway, he went to the website and he did everything, and I thought that was just a hysterical thing, and it made the news. How funny is that?
Yeah, it's funny. It's the extreme of emotional support,
right?
And he took it to the real extreme where, why don't I register my beer?
Right. Yeah. And then
boy,
to close this out, I thought, whoops, hello. I thought this was cute. It's an online community of dogs showing their teeth. I thought these were so cute. Look at this little dog. Look at his teeth right here.
Oh yeah.
On the table. Can you see that? Yeah.
Barely.
Okay.
This is more obvious.
Okay, and then there some of these dogs' faces with those cute little smiles with their teeth. So if you have a dog that has funny teeth, my Charlie has an underbite, so he's always looking cute. I thought these just really were kind of hysterical.
Okay, here, I have a comment.
Yeah.
I heard some people who own dog, they envy the situation of the dog, and they say, my next lifetime I would like to be a dog, which I'm not like really in favor of that. what I feel there, it's dog trying to be human and try to smile like a human
Yeah,
and
right.
show their teeth. And I'm sure the ambition of a dog is to become a human, not the other way around. So smile, my friend, smile.
Yeah,
Be human.
yeah. Look
It
at
will be
you.
nice.
Look at this one here. They had
Cap.
caps put on the dogs. Oh my gosh. Yeah, these
Soon they will have braces.
yeah. You know, I think they do have braces for pets.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, you can put the link there. I'm sure people will have
Yeah,
fun.
the links, I did put the links on there.
Okay, we're
Yeah.
still looking for video from our audience about their dog,
Yeah.
and they can send that to. Uh,
I'll put a link up for it.
yes.
Okay, that's
Okay.
it, Ethan.
Okay, we're good. I don't want to abuse the time of our audience. Thank you, everybody, for listening.
Wait, I
And
can't see you. I can't see you.
Oh, you cannot see me because I put that like this, and
Yeah.
I will take this out, and I will put this way, and I will say thank you, everybody, for listening, to be there, to pass the information to your friend, and tell like whatever you find interesting about that, to share it with your, colleague, friend, better half, and so on and so forth. So, thank you. And we will be in touch next week. Next week will be the week number 3 of Narnia pet behavior and training, and it's fascinating to see these dog evolve week after week, and we see who's the winner, who's the little bit behind schedule. But it's a very, very interesting experience for me, and hopefully for the audience too. So
you did a wonderful, wonderful job on that. And I know that it's difficult to be around all that with the noise and the puppies barking and that, but you did a great, great job.
thank you.
And Murphy says bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
See you.
Thanks,
Okay.
everyone.
Here
Bye.
we are. We have the exo.